Hello, I'm Cris Oviedo. Welcome to Colombia Matters. We have a great show for you. We will learn more about CA's Community Resource Specialist, stream restoration, tips on how you can lower your energy bill, and see part 2 of Barbara Kellner's interview with Laura Lippman. Columbia and Howard County are walkable and bikeable communities with its many miles of pathways. The Horizon Foundation will be sponsoring the second annual Open Streets event to encourage residents to increase physical activity. Joining me in the studio now is Nikki Highsmith-Burnick, and she's the president and CEO of the Horizon Foundation. Welcome.
Thank you, Chris.
And she's going to be talking to us today about what the Horizon Foundation is and about one specific event that's coming up. So let's start by telling everybody what the Horizon Foundation is all about.
Right. We are so lucky in Howard County to have the Horizon Foundation. We are an independent health philanthropy in the county. We do grant making, advocacy, and programming work, all related to improving the health of Howard County residents.
And along with that, what is this initiative that you guys have going on right now?
So the Horizon Foundation is really interested in making sure that everybody in our county is able to achieve and maintain a healthy weight. We want to promote positive lifestyles, and we want to promote physical activity as part of that. So we have an initiative called the Open Streets Initiative, where we're really looking to expand our streets to make them safer for bicyclists, pedestrians, and cars.
Tell us more about what this initiative is going to do for us.
Great. So first of all, I'd like to say that the County Council passed our first ever bicycle master plan this past spring. So we now have a roadmap for increasing bicycle accessibility in the county. The county is also working on what's called a complete streets policy. And many jurisdictions around the country and around the world have adopted this policy that essentially says we care about opening up our roads to, again, safe forms of active transportation. And we know that this generation of people in our community really want to see our roads more accessible so that they can bike, they can walk, and it's safe for cars as well. The other thing that we've done in partnership with CA and the county is to create a new bike share program. So in 2017, we will have a bike share program that is in Columbia. It will have 7 stations. So it will start at Howard County General Hospital, the Howard County Community College. We'll go to the mall in Columbia, to the lakefront, to Oakland Mills, Blandale Air Park, and one other site that I've forgotten. But there are 7 sites where you'll be able to rent a bike. Again, if you want to bike to the mall or if you want to recreate in some way, and that will be a new amenity. And it's a great partnership between CA, the county, Howard Hughes, and the community college and others.
That sounds fantastic. I'm really looking forward to that because I know that avoiding traffic and getting your exercise as you commute from one place to another is something that we are all looking forward to.
And there's been, quite an advancement in how we actually incorporate bike lanes into roads. There's ways to use different color paint so that it creates a very visible lane. There are ways to create ballards so that there's, a physical, something physical between you and the car. So bike engineering has really advanced, and we need to be able to incorporate that innovation into Howard County.
I love that you talked about safety just now. It's because that's one of my fears, especially, and I want to instill this into my kids. I want my kids to grow up to be more physical active. Does that make sense? I want them to not have the struggles that I have because I did not grow up in a generation that grew up around exercise so much as we are now. We're transitioning into this whole new era of where we're very aware of how important it is to be physically active. So I want to instill that into my children, but it's been a struggle, like you were saying, because the streets have not been, they were built for cars. They were not built for everybody to share them. So how is this transforming? How is the Open Streets Initiative transforming this in Howard County?
So I think what's important and what the Horizon Foundation focuses on is to really change our environment. That how we work and live and play really impacts our ability to be healthy. Unfortunately, we have 56% of adults in the county that are overweight or obese, and we have a third of kids in the county that are overweight or obese. That leads to multiple chronic conditions, heart disease, diabetes, stroke, and the leading causes of death in the county. So this is a real issue for our community.
So let's talk about the specific event that you guys have coming up on October 1st.
On October the 1st, we're hosting our second annual Open Streets event. This is an event where we temporarily redesign Little Patuxent Parkway around the loop. And what we do is create an environment where we have different types of bike lanes, and we have a festive atmosphere for people to come out in the community and experience a road that has been completely redesigned. Last year, we had over 1,000 people come out, individuals, families, little kids, older residents, really experience what it's like to have walking, biking, and car traffic all together. We will have healthy food vendors. We will have activities for the kids and for families. And really, we're building not only a sense of health and a sense of activity, but also a sense of community. We want people to get out and about, meet their neighbors, experience what an open street can look like, and commit themselves to being more physically active after the event as well.
So when they come into this event, can they come walking? Can they come biking, running? I mean, what can they expect when they come in? How should they prepare themselves for the event?
Sure. Mostly they can bring their refillable water bottle with them. We have refillable stations all throughout the loop. Where anything that you want, you can do any form of active transportation, and you can drive if you want. We want to be able to show that all of these modes of transportation can exist together. So if you choose to walk, if you choose to bike, if you choose to run, all of those options will be available. And if you choose to drive in a car and watch in a careful, safe way, you can do that as well.
And that's great. That's a great message and a great way to incorporate and show that, yes, we can all share the streets and we can all be safe while doing it. Well, I look forward to October the 1st and to coming to the event. Thank you, Nikki, for coming to our studio today.
Thank you for the opportunity to talk with you, and I look forward to seeing you and your daughter at the event.
We will be there. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by, Nikki. CA recently hired a community resource specialist to increase staff presence within open space. Sean Harbaugh tells us more.
Good morning, I'm Sean Harbaugh, Assistant Director for Open Space Management. I'm here with Kevin O'Connor, our Community Resource Specialist for Open Space, and we're here to talk about why we brought him on board and what he does for our community. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning, Sean. How are you? All righty. Sean, thank you for bringing me on as the Community Resource Specialist. I've lived in Howard County for 30 years and frequented the lakes and enjoyed the amenities that it offers. And often there was no interface between CA and the community, with the exception of the groundskeepers from open space that you would see doing maintenance and stuff. But there was no one to really interact with the community to perhaps answer any questions that they might have, talk about safety issues, about fishing regulations, rules of etiquette, things like that. And that's why I believe you brought me on.
Yes, Kevin, that's precisely why we brought you on. We do have guys and gals out there doing regular tasks on a regular basis, on a daily basis, but we really wanted to step that up, that interaction that we have with the community, to be able to answer the questions and to provide the information, as you said. What's one of the more common things that you interact with folks on?
Oh, wow, there's a number of issues. Perhaps the most important is the rules of etiquette in utilizing the property. You know, putting your dog on a leash, cleaning up after your dog, ride at a decent pace, let people know when they're passing by, say on your left or on your right, ring your bell. But boating regulations, registering your boat, giving people directions on how to get around from lake to lake and utilizing the bike paths. Some of the other questions I get are lost and found. People lose keys in the parking lot. Where do they go? How do they retrieve them? Things like that.
One of the, you talked about trail etiquette, and one of the new signs that we've put up at our higher use paths is kind of that trail etiquette, where the more active individuals, be it running or rollerblading or biking, are to yield to the folks who aren't moving as fast. That might be children or someone using a mobility device, or just walking out there with a stroller and a child. Have you seen any or heard any feedback on the signs that have gone up recently?
I've heard some feedback. I try to encourage people to take a look at signs, because a lot of times signs seem to be a background type of thing, but unless you point it out to people so it becomes more obvious. But the response that I have gotten from people has been very positive, that it's a good thing, especially the pedestrians, because they realize that the signs have been put up there to encourage safety for them.
And I know, speaking of signs, we have a new wayfinding signage that has gone up over the past year or two. And what that does is tell folks how to get around the lakes and to other destinations. I bet you get a lot of questions about how far is it around the loop or how to get to one location or another.
Absolutely.
So Columbia Association embarked on our pathway improvement program and active transportation. And part of that was to widen some of the pathways, to provide the wayfinding signs that we have up now, and a few others. And as a part of that is a pedestrian count system, and we're doing it at our lakes. And I was curious if anecdotally you've noticed more foot and bike and other types of traffic on our pathways.
Well, I've been doing this close to a year now, and I have noticed an increase in traffic, foot traffic as well as bike traffic. And I think that people feel very comfortable about walking around. I've gotten to know a lot of people on a first name basis. So it's developed a better relationship, I think, with Columbia Association and the patrons of the open space areas.
So I bet you have a few regulars.
Oh yeah.
On that schedule, at 7 o'clock in the morning they're walking, or 10 o'clock in the morning they're walking or biking, and you see them every day.
Absolutely. I know how many laps Tom does, I know how many laps Rich does, and oh yes.
We're here at Lake Kittamaqundi now. Columbia Association completed the loop, which before there was no path that went all the way around. And here recently, a new bridge as well as pathway went around the back. And we have noticed a big uptick in how many folks have gone around here. So I'm sure there's a lot more regulars and new regulars walking around Lake Kittamaqundi as well.
Yes, absolutely. There's a couple of things a couple of tools that CA has provided me, which is very useful to my interaction with the pedestrians and bike riders, is the CA app, which shows all the pathways. There's 94 miles of pathways for bikers and joggers and hikers to utilize to get from one area of Columbia to the other. I encourage all our patrons to say hello to me as you see me, patrolling the lakes. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. If you have any, need for information or concerns about anything, or you are looking for CA to perhaps address a problem or an issue, that's why I'm here. So, hoping to see you on the path. Thank you very much.
And as always, Kevin's out a lot, but if you don't see him and you would like to contact Open Space, please contact us at the phone number at the lower end of the screen. Thank you.
Thanks, Sean. Now let's head over to the Stream Restoration Project to catch up with CA's Watershed Manager, John McCoy, to learn how stream restoration keeps our waterways free of sediment.
Welcome to the village of Harper's Choice. We're in open space behind the Harper's Glen Townhomes Association. Harper's Glen Townhomes are back up there. And we are standing in a stream that is about to undergo a major transformation. This is a really neat community-based project that CA and Harper's Glen Townhome Association have undertaken together. About 2 years ago, Harper's Glen Townhome Association asked CA if they could do work on this stream, restore it. And CA suggested that a better approach would be a partnership between the two organizations. Harper's Glen could have the project designed and some of the permitting done, and CA, assuming the board approved the project, would then build it. And that is what's happened. Well, here we are at stream level. This is our little stream. You can see banks are somewhat denuded. They're cut. Lots of sand and gravel in here. All of this is washing right down into Wilde Lake. Wilde Lake's probably 1.5 miles from here, filling in that area we just dredged. So what's going to happen here is these banks are going to get lowered to a certain extent. We're going to save the big trees, but we're going to lower these banks so when this stream floods, it's got somewhere to spread out to. We're going to create some grade controls, not unlike the big rocks in front of me. So there'll be a series of pools with riffles or grade controls that drop down to the next level, and another pool. And this is going to go all the way down to Harper's Farm Road. And hopefully, when all's said and done and we revegetate it, we'll have a nice, thriving community here. Plants few more animals. You know, we do like the fish, we like the amphibians, and we'll be able to get rid of some of the unwanted vegetation that we have in here. Multiflora rose, garlic mustard, we'll replace that with native plants. So the sand and gravel that you're looking at, all this sand and gravel in front of me, is actually what's coming out of these banks. This area here, that area up there, down here below me. And if you look at this stream actually disappears right here, okay? It's going underground. I'm standing in the stream bed, and the stream bed's full of sand. The stream actually pops out back down here. And what happens is all of this sand has eroded from the banks and from the bottom during these big storm events. And when we get another big storm event, all of this sand and gravel is going to pick up, and it's going to wash downstream, and it's going to wash into the head of Wilde Lake. And it starts our dredging cycle all over again. So these streams like this one are the sources for the sediment that ends up in all of our lakes and ponds. And this community project is going to heal this segment. Immediately below this project, on the other side of Harper's Farm Road, is a project CA did 4 years ago. And that's another stream stabilization project where we reduce the erosion and stabilize the stream banks in the bed for 500–600 feet, reducing the amount of sediment that was ending up in Wilde Lake. I'm here with Alex Adkins, president of the Harper's Glen Townhome Association. Alex?
Hello.
What do you think about what's going on here?
This is just tremendous. I mean, there's been so much going on in so quick amount of time. I just can't believe it. I'm so excited to see that, just so excited. It feels like it's been such a long progress.
Well, it has been. Let's talk about that a little bit. How long ago was it that you came to us and asked about starting this project?
Wow. 2013, I would say. Oh, it was like March 2013. I know because I was studying for the bar. That's what prompted all this, because we have this dog and we love him and it's great and we live so close. So we were walking up and down this path all the time. And that's kind of when I noticed what the stream was like and how bad it really looked. And
so 3 years to get from the point where you were interested in working with CA on this project to the point where we've actually got, shovels and equipment in the ground rebuilding a stream.
3 long years.
The process we went through on this, Alex came to us and asked about doing this project. We asked Alex and the Harper's Glen Townhome Association if they would actually go out and obtain a grant to have this project designed and permitted by the state and federal agencies.
Right. We work with biohabitats and develop plans, and I remember us all sitting in my dining room. We're like looking at the plans. We got some cool pictures.
And that landed us at the board, talking to the Columbia Association's board about actually funding the construction of this project, which is a true community project. This was asked for by the community. The design was developed by the community. Columbia Association is funding the construction of it, and we are now in the midst of that construction.
So I just want to thank you and CA for all your help and just walking us through this process and really just making this happen. I mean, it has been so much work, and I know that you guys have just a lot of projects, and I'm just so appreciative on behalf of our whole community. I mean,
well,
to be honest,
we want to thank you guys for taking the lead on it. You've done an incredible amount of work to get us to this point. So it is what I would call truly a community project.
a successful community project.
Yes.
Thanks, John. And do you want to learn how to save money on your energy bills? I know I sure do. And joining me in studio now is Jeremy Scharfenberg, and he is CA's energy manager, and he's bringing us some tips today. How are you doing?
Doing very well.
So why don't we start by telling people what it is that you do here at CA as the energy manager?
Sure. As the energy manager for CA, I have 2 basic responsibilities. One of those is to work within our building portfolio, all the sports clubs and neighborhood centers we have throughout Columbia, to make them as energy efficient and sustainable as possible. Then the other hat that I wear is to work with the community to help residents in Columbia make their lives and their homes as energy efficient and sustainable as well.
So talking about your second goal here at CA, why don't you give us some tips on how we can actually accomplish that?
So the first one is just use your home as it is more efficiently. So you can change your set points on your thermostat, to actually use a programmable thermostat so that you're cooling when someone's home and then you're not cooling so much when the home is empty or everyone's at work. This can have significant impact. So even a couple degrees in your set point, whether it's 72 or 75, can save you several percentage points on your energy usage. And building on from that, simple things like having your drapes or your blinds closed during the day to reduce the sun transmission into the home, that's a lot of heat right there. Using free cooling at night when it actually gets down to like 65 degrees and you can open some windows and get some fresh air in.
And I'm one to open the windows. I love to open the windows, but I am guilty of not shutting my blinds during the day. I just love the sunlight.
And then there's other simple steps that homeowners can take too, simply managing their lights in their home, making sure they're not leaving lights on when no one's in the room or no one's home. Managing their showers or hot water usage, especially in the summer. Moving on from those simple steps, there's actually some upgrades and improvements that homeowners can make. Going to LED bulbs in their lights and other fixtures, looking for Energy Star or high energy efficiency equipment such as TVs or computers or appliances. And then of course, the air conditioning itself. A new air conditioning system can be twice as energy efficient as a home's HVAC system that was 10 or 15 years old.
How about solar panels? Is that a viable option, you think?
Depending on your home and different other characteristics, you can actually put solar on your home and get renewable energy right there on site.
How can a homeowner make his home more efficient?
The best step a homeowner can do is to take a home performance with Energy Star audit of their home, have one of these conducted, and basically BGE offers a program. There are contractors that are screened and vetted are out there, so they have certain standards under which they operate, and they'll come to your home, they'll spend a few hours in your house going top to bottom, investigating all the aspects of the home, from the insulation in the attic to the operation of the furnace in the basement. They'll do numerous tests and provide a list of cost-effective recommendations to help reduce energy consumption by 10 to 20%. And on top of that, BGE will provide incentives to help offset the cost of those upgrades if you go through their program. And the energy audit itself is subsidized by BGE. So normally it would cost about $400 to have an energy audit done, but it just costs a homeowner $100 in this case because it is incentivized by BGE in the Smart Energy Savers program.
Is there a website or is there a resource that people can just go and find all this information?
And there's a great brochure. There's lots of information out there that BGE provides under Smart Energy Savers program. It has all the information on those tips as well as incentives that are available for different measures that they want to choose.
Is there anything else that you would like our viewers to know?
So we have an energy advocate services that we provide through a partnership with Civic Works Retrofit Baltimore, which is a nonprofit based in Baltimore. So we provide a third-party system where we can help homeowners who are interested.
Thanks, Jeremy, for stopping by our studio today and bringing all those wonderful tips to save money on our energy bills. Last month, we showed you Barbara Kellner's Part 1 interview with Wilde Lake High School graduate and author of Wilde Lake, Laura Lippman. This book is so good, I can't put it down. Let's take a look at part 2 of this interview.
I have a question about the book, about the ending of the book. That I can't stop thinking about how Lou is going to feel with living with the fact that something that she brought up, are we just supposed to decide for ourselves how she's going to get over this or proceed with her life or change the direction of her life?
She was prepared to do what she could to protect her brother and her father. I mean, she had to figure out how to do it while honoring her responsibilities as an officer of the court. But her brother didn't give her a chance to solve the problem. He decided to pursue his own solution. One of the things that is mentioned in the book over and over again is that AJ has a reputation for being good, that AJ has had to learn with this strangeness of being seen as almost a saintly person. How invested is AJ in that image of himself? How important is it to him to be thought of as a good person? Almost all of the events that unfold as a result of this one night in the life of several young people, and everything that happens in this book happens because he's desperate to be thought of as a good person. There are several deaths in this book, and with them, secrets go with them. And one of the things we don't know at the end of this book is really what this one character has done and the extent of his guilt over what he may or may not have done.
Do you see the title of the book, Wilde Lake, connected to that in any way, in that either because the lake was man-made, if that entered into it?
When you create something that mimics nature, it will become like nature. Wilde Lake is a man-made lake, but it can overflow, it can cause flooding, a boat can capsize in it. Man can create things, but man cannot control things.
Thank you so much. I think that's a great place to end.
Thank you.
And we really appreciate you coming to Columbia, and I think all of Columbia will enjoy seeing Wilde Lake through the eyes of your wonderful characters.
Thank you
again.
so much.
That's our show for this month. To learn more about Columbia Association, visit columbiaassociation.org. For a calendar of CA-sponsored events, visit columbiaassociation.org/events. Stay connected with us on the following social media sites. Thank you for watching. We will see you next month.
Hi, I'm Trip Lano, writer-editor for Columbia Association, here with Paul Maurer, assistant golf professional at Fairway Hills. I recently interviewed Paul for CA Monthly's August issue, which covers the pros at Columbia Association who can help you step up your game. And I decided to challenge Paul to a 3-hole playoff here at the beautiful Columbia Sports Park. Are you ready to play, Paul?
I'm ready to go.
All right, there's one thing. Because you are obviously professional, we need to even the playing field here. So may I see this? Instead of the golf club that I'll be using, Paul, you get to use my hockey stick that I brought from home.
All right, Happy Gilmore style.
Exactly.
Right.
So let's see what we got.
All right.
Maurer on approach here, sizing up hole number 2 at the sports park, suggested by manager Chris Lucas as a hole-in-one opportunity. Off the wall and off the rock.
We'll see what the ball does.
Yeah, I'm a little out of practice here. It's the first mini golf adventure for me in quite some time.
I want to tell you how you need to work on your grip, though.
Yeah, it is pretty improper. I think the crossover hands, I think, is what I've learned.
Into the media.
You are doubly disadvantaged with the hockey stick, rather. Oh. Windows open. Windows open.
I get creative.
Maybe a 1 foot outside the barrier. Yeah, that would be my move too. All right, second shot here for Paul. Nice shot. Ooh. All right, Paul here shooting 3.
Ooh, that hole is not playing nice today. I know. All right. Third shot from me as well. Finally. All right.
Is this match play or stroke play?
I don't know. Whatever makes me win in the end, I think.
One down.
Looks like a bit more challenging here. Tough hole here, number 3 on the course. Got some water traps, a hill to contend with. Let's see how we got. Not bad, I'll take that. Beware those water traps. Oh, good look.
The water.
Good. Both of us managed to stay dry. I think I might have the distance here, so.
You're away.
All right. Let's see what we got here. Shooting 2.
Time, no pressure.
Right back down the hill like a chump.
All right, good 2 putt.
All right. Tough spot here. Overshoot and you're back in the drink. The cups are not your friend today.
Yeah, not.
Nicely done. All right, on to hole number 4. This is recommended to us by Chris Lucas for the long hill you got to play down and the 2 options to get there. I'm gonna go the more aggressive route here, I think. Go down the hill. Don't get stuck. I'll take it, that's in play. A couple of different options here from our hockey stick does pose a disadvantage in fine control. Playing off the back. Coming around the bend in the same fashion that mine did.
Look at the hole.
Looking like a good run. 3rd hole of a 3-hole playoff. 2-stroke difference. How you feeling, Paul? You feeling the pressure yet?
No pressure.
Pressure starting to mount here. Feeling it with the lead. Uh-oh. That's not what you want. Doors open, sir. Looking good. Looking good. Well done. All right, a lot of pressure now.
For the win.
If I make it in, I win. If not, we'll have a push.
Clutch.
Appreciate you coming out. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks for having me.